What's it going to take to get you to realize that you just can't pop off like that? Is it going to take you pick up another third degree? You could be looking at potentially a 5 to life case, maybe 15 to life. So that's all. I need a fly swatter. You see that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you got a fly swatter?
No, I don't know.
So I'd like to enter it in then.
What you just watched? That's the breaking point. A judge losing his cool and a defendant one mistake away from life in prison. But you haven't seen the bizarre turn this hearing takes. This is the state versus Mr. Lopez. On the surface, it's a plea deal for terroristic threats. But look closer, and it's a tragic betrayal of the person who raised and loved him for 20 years. Why can't he stop popping off? The stakes couldn't be higher. A permanent record and a 15 to life sentence if he slips up again. But then, right in the middle of sentencing, everything stops because someone needs a fly swatter. To understand the psychology of the courtroom and how one wrong word can change a life sentence, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives. Let's see how this unfolded from the very beginning.
Good morning, Judge. Yeah, I'm Jonathan Lopez.
Do I need to reply or just don't do that? Do you want it to move out to the or do you want
When did we enter the order for the Moab?
We were in court last Thursday. It was initial appearance last Thursday, I believe, or
So my
Wednesday.
question to you is this, is that we have an order for protection that does not allow him to go back to the house and that continues to remain in effect,
Yes, sir.
doesn't it?
Yes, sir, 61 days.
Mr. Lopez, you need to understand this because this is very important. This is something that needs to be researched because you are entering into this agreement where you could be possibly let out within the next couple of days. However, there is an order for protection that has been entered. You're not to go back to this location within that period of time. Because if you do, you could be facing an additional violation of protective order. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So, life is way too short to live in fear. And it's not fair. It's not fair that anybody should have to live in fear. You know, you have significant criminal history, and everything here that you've had here is because of no self-control. What's it going to take to get you to realize that you just can't pop off like that? Is it going to take a 15, 20-year sentence to get you to realize this the hard way? Consider this when you're out there. If I say this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? Because you could very well be a 15 to life case the next time you pick something up. It's not hard. If you get upset, walk away. But please, don't let them live in fear. Life's too short to end up in a 6x9 box for the next 20 years. Do you understand? So it's not fair. Especially someone who's raised you, fed you, clothed you, loved you for 20-something years. It's not fair. Consider that. You're charged with terroristic threat of a family or household member. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 50 days in jail with credit for the 9 days that you've done. I'd like there to be an affirmative. Okay, there is an affirmative finding of family violence in this case. You need to understand that this is very, very important because another case like this, there's an affirmative finding of family violence in this case, meaning you can never own a gun or ammunition. The other thing you need to realize is that if you pick up another one of these like this, you could be very well facing a 3rd-degree felony. And because of the pen trips, you pick up another 3rd degree, you could be looking at potentially a 5 to life case, maybe 15 to life. So that's what I'm saying. Be careful. Do you understand?
I do.
They're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement today, there's no turning back. It will go on your record. It's going to be there forever. Like I said, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. So you can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this plea today. Also, the next one, you could be very well facing many, many years in prison. You understand?
I do.
So you still want to do this? How do you plead to the offense of terroristic threat of a family or household member? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to the 50 days, give you credit for the 9. Please, just let them be. All right? All right. Good luck, Mr. Lopez. Thank you, counsel. You too. So just a moment.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, it was. I signed it.
I thought it was. I only see the motion for the MOAB, not a signed MOAB itself.
I thought it was true.
Your Honor, on Lopez, I want to bring to your attention, I'm looking at deeds. I only see the state's motion for the MOAB. I don't see it.
I specifically did a MOAP in this case last time. I don't know why it's not
I
signed.
thought it was addressed.
And I don't see it signed in deeds.
Signed Friday?
Because the motion was on the
Signed last
26th.
time we were- I did it the last time we were here in court.
I think I do remember.
What the hell? I need a fly swatter. You see that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you got a fly swatter?
Oh, I don't know.
So I'd like to enter it in then,
Not opposed to it.
you know? So I'm going to undo the plea.
Okay.
I'm going to enter in the MOA and then we'll do the plea again.
Yes, sir.
Because I want to make sure that there's no issues with this family.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up, Mr. Lopez. So I didn't sign the plea.
There's no entries, nothing.
Okay, so hold on, let me do the MOA first. So I'm entering in what's called a magistrate's order of emergency protection that identifies Ms. Solis as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of the Bower Creek residence. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
If you violate this, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order. This includes you cannot text them, you cannot message them, you cannot use social media to reach out to them, you cannot use, Snapchat, you cannot use someone else to try to get in contact with them. No contact whatsoever. Do you understand?
I do.
This order is good for 61 days from today. So if you go over there, it's going to be an issue. You understand?
I do.
Okay, so I want to sign first now the MOA,
Okay.
and then after that, we'll now do the plea again.
It's in your-
It's here, Jack. Judge. Is he going to see what they
Yeah. Mr. Lopez, I want to protect every person in my county, and I'm going to do it at all costs. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, so let's do this plea again. You're now charged again with the offense of terroristic threat or of a family or household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. They've offered you 50 days in jail, credit for the 9 days that you've done. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers if you're not a citizen. There are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. There is an affirmative finding of family violence. How do you plead on this case? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. Now we will sentence you on the case. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Lopez. Make me proud, man. That's all I'm asking to do. All right.
The plea's final. Mr. Lopez walks away with 50 days and a permanent warning from the bench. But here's the question. Was 50 days enough for someone who betrayed 20 years of love and care? Comment below. Team Lopez or Team Solis? Do you think he can actually make the judge proud, or is that life sentence inevitable? If this case got you thinking, hit like. Share this with anyone who loves watching justice unfold.